Hey everyone, I wanted to just give a update on how my tech journey is going. I know in the last video I posted, it was pretty much me going pretty super in depth about why I was choosing to pivot from working in mental health to trek on a new journey that would lead me more and more into tech. I'm excited about my career. My coding bootcamp experience is going really well. And I just want to give a shout out. I'll probably have to try to link in some way, maybe in the description of this video, just different stories I watched of people in tech boot camps that really helped me expect the right things along this journey. Because I mean, this is me totally trailing a new territory, total new path, and seeing on YouTube resources of how people experience their coding boot camp, what they learned, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they got on the other side of it. Totally gave me comfort. So now I just feel like I'm one of those people, like, I'm in a coding boot camp. Welcome to my experience. But I'm actually not going to go into depth about the material I'm learning. Just know it's been awesome. It's a lot, like it's a boot camp, right? But what I'm being exposed to and how it's being instructed and taught and in the support of the staff is just really been incredible. Like I feel very comfortable to do something that is so out of my comfort zone. So that's definitely not an attest to me or my skill level or my smarts, but it's just really this program I'm in is so awesome. I love them. So a couple things I want to mention that's happened. So when I went to a networking event hosted by my boot camp almost 2 months ago now, it was really cool just to put a face with the name because we're living in this post-COVID world, or I don't know, we're still in a COVID world. So it can just be hard to always know who's who. Even the idea of networking, LinkedIn is the glue of like getting a good career these days. And I don't know how much of that is just because LinkedIn is so amazing as it is like right now, the way the world has transitioned, even with the influx of people working remote, how else are you really going to meet these certain people, if you're not connecting with them via online? So LinkedIn's awesome, but I just think COVID totally ramped up the value and significance of what LinkedIn does. So I went to this event because I wanted to, outside of just online connections, meet people, right? Put faces with names with the school, learn about employers that would be represented at the event. So I met, there was 3 awesome connections that happened. One was someone who helps do PR for the Academy coding boot camp that I'm at. That was an awesome connection because when I walked in, she just kind of like, you ever go to an event and like, so you kind of like find that person that you're just kind of stick with, so it's not awkward and that you can just feel like you got through it. She just we gravitated toward one another, and I met her. I introduced myself to her. And it just was helpful because then she was able to plug me in with other connections on behalf of the coding bootcamp because, again, she does their PR. So that was a great opportunity. It turned out she actually wanted to write a story about me because I have a very unique story. I'm coming from working in mental health to going into business and tech. So her seeing the value in who I am and what I have to share was so fun. So I loved meeting her. Then second, I met someone that's on the board of directors for the Coding Bootcamp because the Coding Bootcamp is a nonprofit. And that was so cool because, I've not been here that long to like meet these connections, and I just felt like immediately I was making really, really like kind of high level connections. So he was really awesome. Need to email him actually and just kind of check in, follow up. Again, networking, cultivating relationships. Love it, but learning it. And then thirdly, I met a recruiter, and she was so awesome, so kind. And it was amazing because as she just said like, hey, are you in a program here? I gave a very short spiel about myself. And side note, I think all of us should always know, what are we going to be preparing ourselves to say when someone asks, who are you? What do you do? I think we fall back a lot on just, oh, I work here. Oh, I'm in school there. And those are parts of you, but those are not the sum total of who you are, or it's not your entire existence. That being said, when people ask us, like, who are you? Tell me about yourself. What made you come here? Like, I think we need to have answers that tie up. I look away when I'm like collecting my thoughts. We need to have answers that tie in to, the relevance of literally why we're there, why we're doing this program, but then they tie in to who we are entirely, our personal brand, our life goal, maybe what is our objective, what's the passion that kind of fuels us. I just think there should be like a pretty answer with a bow on it that talks about like why you're where you are at that moment, what you've done, and what's the objective and how it's going to take you where you're going. So as I met this tech recruiter that was very, very kind, we only talked for probably 3 minutes, but in that, she introduced herself. She asked me, hey, are you in a program here? I don't know verbatim what I said, but I tied up something about, yeah, I've worked in mental health. I love this. I'm passionate about that. I see technology is just the direction in which the world is evolving. I want to be a part of that. Really, my personal belief is like, technology and business is kind of a part of how the world is changing, society as we know it. And my thing is, I'm a world changer. So if this is the way, I didn't tell this to her, but I'm just saying this to like, cause whatever now. But it's like, honestly, my passion and thought is, yeah, if the world is changing because of where business and technology is leading it, I believe as a follower of Christ that I'm called to be a part of world change. So I want to be where that's taking place. I want to be in spaces where that's happening. So I just shared some of the motivation, with that to her. And I said, I'm here, I'm doing a program to learn coding. I'm going to get in technology. I'm excited. And just in that short time, she said, oh, you would make a good business analyst. And then I said, oh, wow, tell me more. She explains how business analysts work as liaisons between the software coding, very technical side of a team, and then the more businessy, high level, more the thought leading part of the business. So the liaison kind of connects the two so that goals get met, work gets done, tasks get completed that benefit the entire organization. So I was like, that is awesome. I love that. Let me know if you have any more resources for me to learn about that, get exposed to that. She said, yes, I work for XYZ. We do tech recruiting. We often can plug people in with these roles and then also fill in skill gaps where they can learn more about these roles while they're getting experience in the role. I'm like, awesome, dope, sounds perfect. So that was that. So now I've been in my actual bootcamp program for 2 weeks. Again, I went to this networking event way before I started the program. That's a whole other God story, how me starting the program pivoted, but in the end, it all happened at the right time because funding became available. That was not even an option. It wasn't even in works. It wasn't even being discussed when I signed up for the program I was going to do. But as the program got pushed back, details were panned out, money became available that made it at no expense to me, that's a miracle, right? So again, I've been in the program 2 weeks now, and the lady I met at the networking event that does the technical recruiting, she was like, hey, I have this business analyst position that I think you would be a good fit for. Are you still looking? And granted, I'm in the program, but I am still looking in the sense of like, I want to be proactive in making connections, following up with recruitment opportunities like this, and just networking. Again, network. So I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. I end up sending her my resume. We end up getting on the phone. She tells me more about the opportunity, and y'all, why was it like the best opportunity ever? Like ever. Actually, I'm over exaggerating, but it was the best opportunity ever in the sense of, again, y'all, I've been a mental health professional for 4 or 5 years since like college, and I've not gone in any of the business arena, none of the tech arena. This is all new space for me, but I'm excited and I'm passionate and I'm trying to lead with that to emerge in it. So for this opportunity to come to me, and then it's something that was totally appropriate and fitting for someone like me that's like, I have the skills to do the role, but I've not been in these roles. I've not fulfilled these types of duties. It was just totally a great fit for me. But I want to work online so bad. Remote work is so important to me. And this is not that. And it would lead to me having to stay here longer, whereas now I'm only here to do the program. And I was looking for a job that would be remote so I can go back to Florida. So I was so challenged, and I'm gonna leave the video here, but I will be back and upload another one just to follow up on how did I end up rationalizing and making a decision about, wow, this opportunity that's actually so good for me to start. I mean, it was an associate business analyst working for the Office of Technology. It was a role that they would help me grow into so that I would not just be prepared to make more money one day, but they would provide me experience and skills and trainings on the job that would help me in a 6-8 month time frame to gain more money. But y'all, I couldn't take it. And it was hard. If you watched my podcast a couple weeks ago or listened to it, it was literally about how do we make these decisions that are honest, with integrity, uphold the truth, and also are respectful to those that are, interfacing with us, giving us these opportunities. So I can't wait to get back on here and talk about that, because it was literally in action, the things I was talking about with Mikkel, and how do we have integrity in the workplace, in our career journey. So stay tuned.